Everyone, the Pokemon fan 993 here, back with more Pokemon Shining Pearl. During the last episode, we actually lost by just barely by a hair. So, I had to think on some other stuff. Been thinking on some other stuff. So, Totter starting with Sticky Web was a good idea, like, as a thought. But, well, we have a couple of problems. First of all, Totter can't do a thing enough to Spirit Tomb in order for it to basically force force him to, make him faint. So I've been thinking on how I should actually do this. I'm going to replace Totter's Shovel of the Razor Claw. That's going to allow him to, I believe, Exodor and Night Slash both have the ability to deal higher than normal critical hits. Night Slash does. So hoping that's going to help. I'm trying to think of what I should do about Kaza, because Kaza is going to be the key to knocking out her Garchomp, which is the last Pokemon that knocked me out during the last episode. I cannot exit my boxes from here, so that's a slight problem. So I can't switch Pokemon here, which I kind of expected. So we need to actually look at some of the other items we have and see if we can find a better one for Kaza. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot available in that regard. That's not gonna do me any good. Cleanse Tag, White Herb, Quick Claw. I could get Kaza the Quick Claw because he's not in battle that often, and it might give me a slight edge. Therefore, Metronome's kind of useless. I think I'm gonna replace Dread's Ghost Plate with the actual another item that I have, the shovel I took off of Totter. So now the thing about Pilly, like right off the bat, is the fact that I know even with Sticky Web she's not faster than Garchomp. So I was debating on how I should use her. So what I decided was, and this is maybe just me being stupid, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use her when Roserade comes out, sticking with Kaza like I did before. And basically just hammer through all of his stuff. I kind of wish I had something to increase Ice-type moves, but I do not. So that's going to have to deal. I'm going to put Kaza up front so we can deal with Spirit Tomb. I think I've got everything set up. I might have to use a few max potions, but I think I got this. I think I got her this time. So we're going to just kind of mash past all this because we've read it all before if you watched the last episode, so we're just going to mash right past it. The good news is that Elite Four, at least the original ones, do not swap their beginning Pokemon, making them kind of easy to figure out what they're going to do first. So, what's going to happen here is just going to start with Spirit Tomb. Now, I mentioned before, Fairy is one of the moves that Spirit Tomb is actually weak against. If I start with Kaza, Pressure is going to knock my power points down faster. But if I go with Dazzling Gleam, okay, so it goes to Sucker Punch. That's not great. But Kaza survival 4 HP. Okay, so that did not do as much damage as I was hoping. It really depends what she does now. If I go for Recover, there's a fair chance she might use Dark Pulse, which will knock me out in one shot. Go for Dazzling Gleam and then go for Sucker Punch. Okay, good. This time I didn't go for Sucker Punch. And Spirit Tomb's gone. Okay. That worked a bit better than I was hoping it would. I was going to gain some experience. Drago's level 66 with the power up his defenses and stuff. So here's Roserade. We're going to switch to Pilly. Sheriff really didn't do much needed to Totter in this battle, so I'm actually going to use probably both of them as some kind of cannon fodder until I can heal up. I also am going to mention that this episode might be a little bit longer or shorter than normal because of me actually stopping after the credits roll, as the credits are done rolling. I'm going with Ice Beam. Roserade goes for Energy Ball. That's going to be a problem. But because Pilly is part Steel, it actually does normal damage. Ice Beam. Okay, so that did about half. Meaning I don't know if I'm going to be okay or not if she goes for another Energy Ball. Let's see what happens. Pilly survives with 4 HP. Ice Beam. So far, no one's died yet. That's a plus. I mean, some of my Pokemon are very injured now, but Alright, let's see what she goes with next. Kaza grows to level 67, that's going to power up its speed and special attack by a bit. Okay, next is going to be Gastrodon. Gastrodon was one I was having trouble with. So, I think I'm actually going to switch to Cherub real quick. And use one turn to heal Kaza back to full health. Because I know that Gastrodon knows Ice Beam, which is probably going to be close to knocking out Cherub. But, if you recall my last battle, Cherub was not very useful for me really anyway in this situation. So, we're going to use a Max Potion to make sure Kaza gets all of his HP back. Good. I actually goes for Rock. Oh, that's right, it was Rock Tomb, not Ice Beam. So I actually got a free turn in, so I'm actually going to go for Chatter and hope we can confuse Gastrodon. I know I'm faster. Alright, good. Confused it. Goes for another Rock Tomb. Let's lower my speed. Eventually, Gastrodon using Rock Tomb over and over again will make it faster than me. And Gastrodon does have the leftovers, so this is going to be between me and Chirp, because I can heal myself with Roost. It's going to be kind of a longer one-on-one bout here. At least until Cherub faints, or Gastrodon faints anyway. Let's restore most of Cherub's HP. Gastrodon is still confused. It could hit itself. But it doesn't, and it goes for another Rock Tomb. And this one hits. But luckily, because I removed the flying type, it doesn't do as much damage. Gastrodon's leftovers heal it. Chatter. Gastrodon steps out of confusion, goes for another Rock Tomb. So I'm going to have to go for one more Chatter. There's a fair chance that Gastrodon might be faster now. But if Chatter hits and it confuses her, Gastrodon's a female, then I'll have to see what I can do. Chatter hits. Actually, a critical there. But fortunately, it's probably going to tempt Cynthia to go for a full restore or a max potion or whatever she uses. Same if that was just a little more, it would have worked. So if leftovers actually doesn't... Okay, so it's really hard to tell what she's going to go for here. But I'm going to assume she's going to go for the full restore, so I'm going to go for Roost. Okay, she did. Confusion's going to heal him completely. But I'm going to go for Roost that's going to let Chirp heal most of its HP by itself. And then I'm going to switch right back to Chatter. I should still be faster because Gastrodon hasn't lowered my speed anymore. Chatter. And I confused it again. But unfortunately, I can't seem to get to hit itself no matter how hard I try. And it got a critical here and lower my speed. So I'm going to assume that Gastrodon is now faster, which is going to make this harder to deal with. But Gastrodon is still technically confused. Let's go for another Chatter. I don't think I'm going to be faster, so let's just try it. Maybe he'll heal herself a couple times. Nope, no luck. Gastrodon is still confused, though. Gastrodon's HP is going to be restored by the leftovers. Okay, so now I have a decision to make here. I can go switch to Kaza and go for a Psychic, which might knock it out. But I'm not 100% sure that's going to work. So we're going to switch to Dread. Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball's not going to have the same power it did before, but Shadow Ball's going to help us. Special defense spell, though. Gastrodon's still confused. And it goes to hit me, but Dread avoids the attack. Most likely because of Rock Tomb having like 90% accuracy instead of 100. We'll go for another Shadow Ball. Okay, that's good. Remember having a tougher time with that Gastrodon before, so we're gonna see what happens. Okay, Chirrup's still out. Okay, so now we're actually gonna switch now to Rio. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I found out last time she used a Burn Orb, which would lower its attack, but also increase the Marble skill. So we're going to go for the Nuzzle, which actually prevents her from being burned. And Nuzzle also has the effect or Nuzzle has the Paralyzation effect, meaning that Milotic's speed gets lowered greatly. Milotic goes for Scald. Rio gets hurt by quite a bit. Rio actually gets burned. My objective here is pretty straightforward. I'm just gonna go for Thunderbolt until I think that something's gonna happen here. I don't think Rio's attacks are that powerful, but I did give it a Magnet, which powers up its electric moves a little bit. Scald again. Hits me. So I might have a shot here if I go for another Thunderbolt and then I switch to Totter and go for maybe an Exizor. What's really gonna be hard to tell. Scald. So in order to tell if Totter's going to have enough power to mess with Milotic, it's going to depend solely on a couple of factors here. First of all, Rio's special attack is 1 or 94. Thunderbolt powers, or Magnet powers up Thunderbolt, but Totter's attack is 146. Meaning I don't think the boost is going to matter, which means I think Exizor should do the same amount of damage. Okay, what's she doing? Are you kidding me? You weren't even at red. Oh, come on. Okay, now the game's just screwing with me. I know it's screwing with me now. They make the rule make it more freaking precise. It's ridiculous, and it's burned. That's gonna cause problems. I'm going for Sticky Web. I could have sworn the end of this game was only if it gets into red, but I guess that doesn't count. I'm gonna get burned again, aren't I? Nope. Wouldn't surprise me though if I did. Now it's gonna hurt from the burn. So the thing I'm gonna have to do now, and I don't like to do it, is I'm gonna have to max revive my Rio and try it all again. Didn't want to do it, but Cynthia's being a real bitch, so I'm not gonna have much of a choice. Goes for Skull again. That's probably gonna knock out Totter. Comes very close. Knocked it out. Milotic is getting hurt by the burn every turn though. Switch back to Rio. Nuzzle is no longer an option because it's already burned. So we're gonna switch right to Thunderbolt. Okay, so now what I'm looking at here, of course she goes for a cover, but not a big deal. Not a big deal. Milotic's getting hurt by the burn a little bit. Doesn't bother me because that costs her a turn, which means Rio's not gonna get hit. Oh, it knows Miracle. That's annoying. And it knocked out Rio. Of course it did. Okay, so my strategy now. Milotic HP is very low. So I'm going to switch to Kaza one more time. I do believe Kaza is faster than Milotic. If it isn't, then I call bullshit. But we're going to go for a Psychic, and as long as Cynthia doesn't go for another goddamn... Okay, good. For another Force Roar, this should knock it out. Good. Okay, so Lucario is going to be a slight problem. However, I do remember Dread having a bit of an advantage over it. I'm not sure exactly what... I think it uses Flash Cannon. It's really hard to tell, but Sticky Web is still in play, even though Totter was only around for like 2 turns, so Sticky Web is going to lower its speed. I believe she has the 2 Pokemon. I believe she has Lucario and Garchomp left. She does. Okay. Bring over Confuse Ray. At 100% accuracy is always going to hit. Now, I have not had good luck with Confusion in this match. We're going to see what happens. Lucario hurt itself. That's good. That's a good start. The good news is that, unlike last time, Dread has not used all its Shadow Balls yet. So we're going to go for a Shadow Ball here. Which will do a fair amount of damage. Or special defense. That's exactly what I wanted, actually. So what's going to happen here is Lucario's either going to hurt itself or go for a Flash Cannon. Okay, good. That's even better than I was hoping. So now, we're going to go for one more Shadow Ball with its Lord Special Defense from last turn. That should be enough to knock it out. Good. Okay, so now my next strategy is kind of cheap. But you want to know at this point, she's being as cheap as all hell, so I don't give a shit no more. So I'm going to switch to Kaza. Okay? Last time I did this, Dazzling Glaive did about half Garchomp's health. So I'm going to be a little cheap here, but I'm also going to be... what I'm hoping to is going to happen here. Sticky Web is going to knock Garchomp's speed down just a little bit. Kaza is going to go immediately for Dazzling Glaive, which is going to do a fair amount of damage. Oh wow, did more than I... Did I get a critical? Yes, I did. Okay. So Earthquake is going to knock out Kaza. I knew that was going to happen. So Cynthia has two choices here. I'm going to switch to Pilly, who has no HP left. If Cynthia goes for a full restore or anything like that, then I have one chance to use a max revive. I think I have one more. Yes, I do. To use on Kaza. That's going to restore all of... Yep, Cynthia wants for a full restore. I was expecting that. I'm going to go for max revive on... yeah, Kaza. And then I'm going to go for an Aqua Jet here. That should... Because it's priority, it should go first all the time. So that's going to do a bit of damage to Garchomp. Probably not a lot, but enough. Ruskin is going to knock out Pilly. Pilly is gone. Garchomp goes for Earthquake, but it failed. Now we're going to do something we didn't do last time. We're going to switch to Dread and see what she does. If she knows Crunch, Dread might die right on the spot. But if it doesn't, I'm going to go for a Shadow Ball. Okay, I am fast, so Shadow Ball's going to hit. Fair amount of damage. Lord Special Defense, that's good. Okay, Dragon Claw. So I'm actually, instead of going for another Shadow Ball, I'm actually going to go Confuse right here. The reason I'm doing this is because if, for whatever reason, Garchomp does something that happen to knock me out here, I have another small chance to actually make it not attack during Kaza's last stand. Okay, so that's what I thought was going to happen. Red held it with 1 HP because they thought I would be disappointed. That's fine. I don't want to knock it down to a quarter health, so I'm going to go for a Side Beam, which is going to do less damage. Like I said, I don't want to use a full restore. That might make her use a full restore anyway, though. Real hope it doesn't. Garchomp is confused. And once again, looks for the Dragon Claw. So now we're now done to Circumstance. Okay, here's one or two things is going to happen here. I'm going to go for a Kaza, I'm going to go for Dazzling Gleam, and that's either going to knock Garchomp out or Cynthia's going to be a bitch and go for another full restore. But Kaza has a quick claw, which means I might be fine. Let's see what happens. Dazzling Gleam. Come on. Oh, god damn it. I could feel my hands are sweating on my controller. That's it. Okay. So we pulled that out of our ass. Thanks to the max revive that Rio brought us. Rio was very useful in this battle. Just a few minutes ago, you were the most powerful challenger. And now you just become the most powerful of all the trainers. You are our newest champion. 13,464 for winning. And a gold plate statue at this point. Whew. That was excellent. Truly an outstanding battle. You gave support your Pokemon needed to maximize their power, and you guide them with certainty to secure victory. Actually, if I use 3 max revives, it means I use about the same amount of healing items that she did. You have both compassion and calculating coolness. Together, your Pokemon can overcome any challenge that may come your way. These are the presents I get from our battle. I'm so glad I got to take part in the crowning of Sinnoh's new champion. Now then, step onto the lift. The room ahead is the Hall of Fame. Rowan, what the hell are you doing here? Ryan, your last battle was splendid. How are you watching? We're in a locked room. How does he watching? Does he have like is there like a stand above like where the thing is where he can just look in? Anyway, whatever. Oh, hello, Professor Rowan. A child that listed from my Pokédex project has come this far. So naturally, I come to witness their crowning achievement. Ryan, I shouldn't call you a child anymore. You've grown into a real champion. Professor, you still enjoy the voices of them kids bring you in the research, don't you? Step this way, please, Ryan. Professor Rowan, I need you over here as well. Why do you need Professor Rowan? The moment says, let's enter this room. If the last time you were here when I became champion, then yes, it would have been quite a long time ago. I thought you said that Rowan became champion at one point. Ryan, welcome to the Hall of Fame. Your names are recorded for posterity here. What you're leaving are the memories of your adventure so far. The stone recorded your names, you and your Pokemon. Remember, you and your Pokemon are partners that grew with you through many challenging battles. You will make a permanent record of your achievement. Well, until I delete my save file. Then again, this whole achievement is going on YouTube, so maybe it will be saved forever. Welcome to the Hall of Fame. Kaza, level 68. Hilly, level 65. River, level 65. Red, level 66. Potter, level 64. Chirrup, level 67. League Champion, congratulations. ID 376097. Time 21 hours and 14 minutes. So I beat this in under 22 hours. Without doing all the extra stuff anyway. So this is probably going to be the end credits, yes. So this is probably where the time where I talk about everything that's wrong or perfect with the game. So I'm not going to lie here before the patching and everything. There was quite a few glitches. I know that the world record for this game, because you can clip through walls and everything else without any cheating devices, is like 20 to 30 minutes. And that's fine, you know. I can't say that this is the first time it's happened. I mean, well, I'm trying to think of an example. Okay, so I'm pretty sure people remember this game, but do you remember the game that came out in the N64 called The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time? That game can be completed even faster than this one if you use everything just right. I understand the game is much later in development, or later, well, damn near 20 plus years later. But what I'm saying, though, is that no game is out there glitches, and it just so happens that I could see Nintendo having a problem. Just everyone else has a problem with the chibi aspect. That didn't really bother me too much. It was kind of like a little cutie thing. I mean, Pokemon is supposed to be like a kid's thing, so you can't really expect anything like hardcore to the manga. So, what was I saying? So, the glitches were going to be a thing, no matter what happens. The cloning glitch is probably the most useful glitch in the game if you're not speedrunning the game itself, and those were patched. So, where do I actually stand on this? Like I said, I've now beaten the game. I give this game a 7.9 out of 10. The lower scores because of the glitches. There are the experience here which cannot be turned off, which makes the game a bit easy because I barely grinded at all in this game. I just battled every single trainer and basically I was almost set. Maybe they'll release an update where they can release the experience, make experience here optional, but it might be too far embedded into the game in order for it to actually happen. So now all the good points. I love the story. The story was mild and much. They added the new underground, which I think is better than the original one. You're not going to hear a lot of people say it's better than the original one. The berry mixing was very reminiscent of, or the poppin' make was very reminiscent of the older one, which you basically used a stylus, but in this game you use either your finger or the analog stick. I only played it once or twice, but the contests were a little out of my reach because I only did it once or twice. But I'm pretty sure that could be pretty fun too. I prefer the contest from Generation 3 instead. I know there's a post game that we have to talk about. So right now I'm sitting at 7.9. It might go up maybe to like an 8.4 if the after game's good. I know there's a whole new island we have to explore that we can take from Snow Point. That will probably take us to the Battle Tower, which is in Platinum. And then we have to probably exploring. I like that look. Then there's probably exploring a thing. I think there's a place coming up called Stark Mountain, which basically has heat ran in it. Yeah. And probably the battle a bunch of trainers again. I've heard there is a trainer somewhere on that route, and I'm going to find it, that can actually be used to farm experience because she has a chance piece. So, right now, like I said, 7.9. I like the visuals. I mean, to me, I'm trying to think of a good example. You guys ever hear of World of Final Fantasy? It's a chibi game, but you can change when you battle, you change between the chibi and the actual thing. So it's not like this hasn't been done before, and I think I just purchased World of Final Fantasy like 3 days ago, and I started playing it, and I was like, wow, this is actually pretty good. I was kind of considering not doing it because it was on my computer, and I've heard a couple of things about it being bad on computer. But it basically does the same thing. The only difference is that you only change your chibi state in this game when you go into battle. And the thing in it in World of Final Fantasy is that you can change between them, and they actually have different abilities and different things you can do. But I'm getting a little off track. So yeah, like I said, there's still, you have to complete the regular dex, which takes the entire Sinnoh region basically, and you have to basically find every single Pokemon. There's Mesprit, Uxie, and probably yeah, those 3 right there that I probably have to catch in order for the Pokedex to be complete. So there are some other Pokemon that I'm aware of. For example, Mesprit, the pink one, which is being displayed right now. Actually, if you encounter that one in its cave, it'll actually run and you have to chase after it. That is what I'm going to use my Master Ball for. Someone told me that Cresselia later in the game is also a roaming one. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Maybe I'll have... it's really hard to tell what I'm going to do. But I've been talking for like a long time, and I think we're at the end of the credits. So, like I said, 7.9 out of 10 until I'm able to access the post-game and figure out what's going on. So I'm guessing the game is just going to cut right here with a V end on it. Okay, so that's going to do it for this video. I'm pretty sure this is going to take me right back to the title screen. So that's going to do it for this video. I thank everyone who watched. This is the Pokemon Fan 1993 signing off. I'll see you guys in the post-game. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.